again the next day. My camera battery died and I lost natural light, so I couldn't continue. But what I did yesterday was to interface the facing of the back facing as well as the waistband. So I interfaced all the waistband pieces. Where are the waistband pieces? I found them. I interfaced all the waistband pieces as well as the back facing, and I also finished the bottom of the back facing with zigzag stitch. So what I'm going to do now is sew the facings together as well as the main front and back pieces together. I'm going to just show you how I do it. It's the same thing we do every time, guys. Welcome back, guys. In this video I will be showing you how to sew together the fabric pieces we cut in part 1, which was uploaded last week. To watch that video, check the description box below for a link. The first thing to do is to sew the front and back pieces together. To do this, place the front pieces on the back piece right sides together and pin at the shoulders. Do the same to the facing pieces as well and sew at the shoulders with a straight stitch. After stitching, it is important to press open your seams as you go to have a clean line and to improve the overall appearance of the garment once it's completed. The next step is to finish the neckline. To do this, place the facings and the main pieces together, right sides facing. Align the shoulder seams together and pin. After pinning, take it to your sewing machine and sew with a straight stitch all along the front ties and the necklines. Make notches or clip-ins around the seams to ensure the seam allowance spreads and lays flat, and also to make the turning and ironing easy. Now, turn the front ties right side out. You can use the scissors to poke out the tip. After doing this, give it a good press, and you should also press the neckline. Small strips of fabric to serve as the button loop. To make this easier to turn, gather a string of yarn or any strong rope. Place it in between the strip and pin. Hold the yarn in place at the top with a small stitch, pivot the fabric and sew down the length to close up the strips of the fabric on the side. To turn the button loop, pull on the string and the fabric to pass the top of the fabric through the loop and also to turn it to the right side. Next, we're going to work on the waistband, which you should have reinforced with fusible interfacing. Place the two front waistband pieces on the back waistband, right sides together and pin. Join together on the sides with a straight stitch at 1/2 inch seam allowance to create a side seam. Next, sew up the side seams on the bodice with a straight stitch at 1 inch seam allowance to create the side seam as well. Make sure to press the seams open as usual. Place one waistband which should be on the outside on top of the bodice, right sides together. Also place the other waistband on the inside, right side to the wrong side. Pin all 3 pieces together along the length of the waist circumference. At the center front, select the side that you want the button loop to be on. Mark an equal distance to place the button loop. Fold one button loop in half and place it inside the waistband so that the loose ends are out. Pin in place and do the same for the other button loop. Sew the waistband close on both sides and also the length of the waist circumference with a straight stitch at 1/2 inch seam allowance. Cut off the excess button loop. Turn to the right side and press. Here I'm just measuring the length of the waist circumference of the fabric, which will determine the length that I would gather the peplum part to fit. The fabric I'm using for the peplum part. To finish the raw edges, fold the sides in twice, press or pin this in place and sew with a straight stitch. Do this to the other side as well as the hem. Set your stitch length to the widest length and the tension to the lowest tension. Then sew a basting stitch at the top of the peplum piece. Pull on one thread and gather the fabric to fit the waistband length. Pin the front waistband piece to the gathered peplum piece and sew with a straight stitch. To close the waistband, fold the seam allowance of the inner waistband in to cover the stitch line and pin in place. Do this along the entire length and sew with a straight stitch. Sew in the ditch on the other side and it should look like this on the inside when you're done. Moving to the sleeve, which is very easy. Gather the bottom half of the sleeve the same way we gathered the peplum piece. Attach this to the sleeve head with a straight stitch. Afterwards, fold the sleeves in half, right sides together and sew the sleeves closed with a straight stitch at 1/2 inch seam allowance to create the sleeve seam. To attach the sleeves to the bodies, match the seams, right sides together. Turn this to the wrong side so that the sleeve is inside and then continue pinning the sleeves to the bodies. Then join together with a straight stitch. The last thing to do is to sew on the buttons. Mark where the buttons will be placed using the button loop as a guide. Begin sewing the button with the shank. Sew a bump on the fabric first before inserting the button. From there onwards, continue passing the needle through the shank, then through the fabric directly under the shank until the button is secure. Then tie a knot when it's secure and cut off the thread. And that's it, guys. We are done with our Pinterest inspired tie front blouse. So that's it, guys. The top is done. I really like it. If I was to make this again, the only thing I would change is make the neckline a bit narrower, not so wide like this, and then have enough fabric so I can make the sleeves long. The sleeves are sort of awkward sitting above the hemline. I wish it was longer, but otherwise I think it's a cute top. I like it. When my lady sisters told me, she was like, I'm ready for an interview. That's not the goal I was going for. I wanted the cute top, but it's fine. I will take corporate look. Corporate look is fine. It's really nice. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and I hope you're going to find it helpful and follow the steps that I took. It was actually quite easy. It was quite easy to make. I wouldn't expect that I would have gotten the front tie properly, but I did and I love it. So that's it, guys. Subscribe to my channel, like the video and share the video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.